So next, what we're going to be doing is the Exquisite Corpse again. And so we've got some examples online, and I actually did these with my family. And you can see I've got the head is an octopus, and the body, we've got a little crazy creature with a cupcake and on his t-shirt and on his arms. And that was from my husband's second cousin, little guy named Wyatt. He's out in Oakland, so hi Wyatt if you're watching. And this one is from my son, Ethan. He's 17 and he helped out a little bit. And then you fold the last one and you got some crazy feet going. And the crazy feet are from my husband. So shout out to Aaron, my husband. So that is an exquisite corpse. So the way that you do it is super easy. And what you can do is just have an ordinary piece of paper, have some crayons on hand. I like using a pencil, but first we're going to fold it. And so depending on how many people you are going to have do the project, you can fold it into 3 parts. So you can have a head, a torso, and feet and legs. Or if you've got 4 people you're going to do it with, you can do head, torso, legs, and feet. So I'm just going to fold my paper into 3 parts just to kind of show you how we did this. So you can make them equal parts, or you can make them unequal parts. But here you go. And so you would be drawing the head, the torso, and the legs and feet down there. And it's pretty darn easy. So that's how you do an exquisite corpse. Now, I'm really going to encourage you, whether you're a family, whether you're a professional artist, or whoever you are, is to actually share this with family and friends and start one off. And then you can just put little pieces of tape in the corner so that they don't see the rest of it. But you can hide the different parts of the body when you send it. And so everybody does a different part of the body and nobody knows what the prior part of the body looked like. And so that's what we did with some of my family members. And so I sent them, it was blank all the way over here, and I covered up my head when I sent it to them, and then they sent it back through me through snail mail. And so you can start a whole new tradition with your family and start using the mail again. And during this time of COVID, that's really fun to get this in the mail and fill it out, put in your parts, and then send it back to somebody else. And it becomes this whole little game between you and your friends and family. And so I'm actually going to be sending this back to Wyatt. And Wyatt, I believe, is going to be a kindergartner this coming year, or a first grader. I can't remember which. But now he can have it, and he's got drawings from different family members. The other sample that we did was also with family members. And so I did the top and with the head, and then another second cousin. Her name is Alex. Also, she's Wyatt's sister. And she did the shirt, and you can see it says Tentacle Love. And so that's kind of fun that she did a little octopus reference. Then my son again, he did the shorts and legs. And then my husband again did the feet. And so I am going to be sending this to Alex in Oakland, and she'll have a finished drawing that she helped make. And it's a lot of fun. And then you can write little letters on the back of it and do whatever you need to do to just kind of be with family. Now, you can also do this digitally, either by taking digital photos of your artwork and sending it to everybody, and everybody does a different part. So if you know, mom is going to do the head, and cousin is going to do the body, and a friend down the street is going to do the feet, you know, then you can just do that digitally and then have it come together on a digital kind of thing. So the next one I'm going to show you is another version of an Exquisite Corpse. And the Exquisite Corpse you can do as a group, but you can also do by yourself. And all you need is a blank piece of paper. Now, I like to use a piece of paper that is a little bit thicker. So this is cardstock quality, and it's actually recycled from a TCA sign. So I like to recycle paper as much as possible. I'm using some crayons today, and the crayons that I'm using actually, so that they show up really well on camera, are actually Crayola dry erase crayons, which are really, really brightly colored. And that's a lot of fun, and they'll come out really great on the screen. And they draw on multiple surfaces, so not just on dry erase boards, but you can actually draw paper, and it comes out really bright. I'll just do a little sample here. Look how bright that is. So that's a lot of fun, and I like that. Really bright crayons. So just kind of adds a little dimension to something that normally crayons can be a little bit hazy and not as bright. So this is a fun one. So back to this. So I drew a Frankenstein, and for some of my friends out there, you'll laugh because you know that I've been on a drawing monsters kick. And my piece of paper, I cut so that I could fold over, and I've got another Exquisite Corpse right there. And I've got another Exquisite Corpse right there. And my friends will laugh as well because they know that I am a huge fan of Baby Yoda. So there's Baby Yoda. You might recognize another Star Wars character right there. That would be Chewbacca. And guess who that is? Well, you can't see the rest of her and her famous hair buns, but that would be Princess Leia's feet. And when you do the Exquisite Corpse by yourself and you have it in 3 parts like this, you can open it up and you can have different body parts for different things. So look at that. And we got that. And so you've got numerous combinations. Oh, the butterfly's kind of funny, isn't it? And back to Frankenstein. And you can do it all over again and do it in different order. That one's kind of funny as well. So there you go. So we're going to go step by step on how to do one of these. And then I'll show you another example of one that I did. So here's my blank piece of paper. I'm going to fold it into 3 parts. Okay. Now for this first part, you actually do want them to be even. So if you're a person that likes to use a ruler, this is a great time to use a ruler. This is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Again, it's cardstock. And I'm going to fold it. And I have a little trick for folding equally when I don't have a ruler present. And I just kind of curve it like that. And I line up this set edge, and I can kind of see the inside corner, if you can kind of see that. And I press, and I get a pretty even 3-part piece of paper. Alrighty. So then I can open it up, and I've got this. Now you can see that I kind of sketched, and for those that like to use a ruler, you're probably going, oh my gosh, those are terrible lines. But it's just a little guide for me to know where I'm going to cut those 3 parts, so that I have these little parts that come together, okay? But first, before I start cutting, I'm gonna draw my center drawing. So I'm thinking that I probably wanna draw another Baby Yoda, just because I'm so Baby Yoda crazed. And I'm just gonna do a little curve like that, all right? So just kind of like you were drawing a little rainbow, and then drawing my ears. So kind of pretend like you were drawing a bunny rabbit, but instead of putting it on top, you're putting the ears off to the side. And so now I've got a basic outline for Baby Yoda. I'm going to draw a little line because I'm going to cover up part of his face with his jacket, like that. And I draw the other part of his jacket. Now I'm using a pencil at first. I love mechanical pencils and I love the white eraser on the end of it because they work really well. So I made a little mistake over here. So I'm just going to erase it. All is good. Now I'm going to start adding some details in. I'm going to put this little line in here so that it gives the idea that you're seeing the inside of his ear. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And so when I put in color, you can actually see the inside and the outside of his ear. Now, you come to this part and you don't have to really do any details on here. However, if you want to, make some texture, and I put a little pencil texture in there to remind me, so when I use my crayons or my markers or whatever I'm using, it reminds me to put texture right there. And then I'm going to give myself a little guide, and I'm not doing a super realistic, as you can tell, Baby Yoda. I'm doing just kind of a cartoony, my version of Baby Yoda with those big puppy dog eyes, which is what everybody loves and everybody falls in love with. And then I've got that. So there's just a very simple Baby Yoda. So the torso for this is going to be a clown. So I'm going to make a nice round belly because I like the clown, and I'm going to make the clown shirt full of polka dots. All right. And we're going to give him his hands. And again, this is just a fast drawing. So if I was spending some more time on it, it'd be a little more detailed. And because clowns wear crazy outfits, I'm going to give him a striped shirt. All righty. So for the feet, I am thinking that I want to try to give kind of like goat kind of feet. Yeah. So kind of like the chicken feet that I did before. So kind of got the furry legs, the top of the legs, and then kind of these long feet. And then we've got a hoof. All right. How's that? Pretty simple kind of drawing. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do before I cut, is I'm actually going to color this in just so that I'm not having to worry about smearing my drawing once I do the cutting and all of that. So Baby Yoda is kind of greenish color. Now the crayons that I have with me right now, it's just a very simple set. And so these are the only colors that I have. And so normally I like to make Baby Yoda kind of mint green with kind of little white hairs on his top of his head. But since I don't have a mint green crayon, I'm just going to very lightly use the green. And because it's a very bright green, remember those crayons I said that are dry erase crayons? I'm going to go over this, and I'm going to kind of leave those eyes blank so I can fill those in later. The other thing that I like to do is I actually mix media up. And what mixed media means, media in the art world means what art supplies are you using to make your piece? So are you using paint? Are you using crayons? Are you using colored pencils? And so the media, if I'm using multiple medias or multimedia, I'm using more than one kinds of supplies. And so when I'm all done with this, I could go back over and kind of make some of those outlines on here. I could make it with a darker crayon. I could make it with an ink. Sometimes it's a little hard to draw ink over crayon because crayons are made out of wax. And so it's wax and pigment is what makes a crayon. So there's the basic color for Baby Yoda. Again, I didn't go too green on the middle of his face. And now the insides of his ears. Now, which, if you observe pictures online or if you watch The Mandalorian, you notice that the inside of Baby Yoda's ears are pink. All right, so we've got that, very basic. And now I'm going to have a little bit of fun creating texture with a crayon. So remember I gave myself a little reminder to put texture on the top of his jacket. And you remember he has that top of his jacket kind of covers up a lot of his face. So I'm going to start in these like little itty bitty lines at the top. And if you look at that, I've kind of got texture, and then I'm going to go the opposite way. And then the opposite way. And so you kind of get this like back and forth kind of texture. And that's kind of what fabric does. Fabric has a weave to it, and it goes back and forth. So we're going to do that again. So I'm doing it in one direction, that way, and then I'm going to do it in this opposite direction, just to kind of give his jacket a little bit of color. I am by no means as good an artist as Ben Olson, who gave us a fabulous workshop from the Chuck Jones Center, but I feel good enough that I can give you guys a little tutorial and have some fun with it. For those professional artists out there, I would love, as the curator, to challenge you to post online, either Facebook or Instagram, your own exquisite corpses. And maybe, you know, while all this COVID stuff is going on and we're stuck at home, we can all share exquisite corpse drawings back and forth and have some fun with it. So remember, my middle section is a clown. And I'm going to let the crayon go bright this time because I think a clown should be bright colors. When I was a kid using crayons or colored pencils or markers or whatever it was, I was so exact. Like I wanted to like color the outside of the circle and then be very careful about coloring the inside of the circle. But what I've noticed as I age and I've drawn more, I can go either way. And it doesn't bother me. It's a little bit looser. Now I'm going to come back with pink, and look how much brighter that pink is. And I'm going to make that striped shirt. Just kind of having some fun with it. I feel like he should have gloves. Those funny little blue mittens. All right, now we're going to come to those goat kind of feet. And again, we're going to do the texture again with the crayon, but this time we're just going to do it all in one direction so that it looks kind of furry. And I'll raise that kind of up so that you can see there's the Baby Yoda texture, and here's the texture for the leg. Robin says, fun idea, just cut the paper to do this with the family. Yeah, you could totally do that. So you could just cut it in 3 parts and send everybody to a different part of the house and tell them to be very secretive about it. Make it kind of like a contest between family members. And then maybe at dinner, have an unveiling of the 3 parts coming together, tape them together. And that could be a lot of fun to do with the family. I'm even opening up a new set of markers. I'm very excited. There is nothing like it in the world to open up a brand new set of markers or crayons. or color pencils or any art supplies. This set didn't come with a black, so I'm just going to use a gray. And I'm going to outline my baby Yoda just to kind of give him some definition and give him big puppy dog eyes. The other thing that you can kind of do with a marker after you're done is some of those mistakes that I said that used to annoy me when I was a kid. You can kind of cover up with the marker and make your design just a little bit more fluid. See how that just all gave it more definition? Like that. And it just kind of covered up some of my mistakes since I was in a hurry. And there's Baby Yoda. Now, one of the things I like to do just to kind of give a little like what cartoon characters or comic books, they kind of have these like little lines sometimes in them just to kind of give some definition. Yeah, so I've got a little bit of lines there. I'm going to outline my clown as well. And those circles and circles and circles. And you can see what's happening with the marker over the wax is that it just doesn't like it as well. So every once in a while I have to bring another piece of paper and just kind of get some of that wax off of my marker. Like that. Now, ink over colored pencil is super easy. And again, got the wax on there, so I'm going to kind of clean some of that off. All right. So there's my Exquisite Corpse, different things. You could make your interior one just one drawing, so a long body of some sort, kind of like I did with Frankenstein. And another version that I did, just to give you an idea, is I pulled out another one. And I must be on a clown kick, which I don't know why, because clowns kind of freak me out. But my interior drawing on this version was this little clown girl. Kind of looks like she's crying or just kind of singing with her eyes closed. And then I had my flaps. So the flaps are actually what we're going to be doing next, but just so that you see this version. So here's clown girl with a dragon head. Here is clown girl with a unicorn head and a teddy bear body and high heels with pom-poms or bare feet or a turtle. You got all sorts of fun. All right, so back to my Baby Yoda Exquisite Corpse, I'm going to say. Remember those lines that I lightly drew here? Let me draw them a little bit darker so that you can see. See that? And see that? And it kind of puts where the body parts separate. Don't panic if your parts are not equal. It's okay. You just want this part to be equal to this side so that when you're folding back the different pieces, you can get the same kind of effect. All right. So I'm going to be cutting on this side. And the reason I'm going to cut before I draw on this side is I can't see that line on the outside where I need to be drawing my next set. So I'm not drawing on the inside. I'm drawing on this outside folded flap. Okay, same with this side. I'm not drawing on this inside where I drew the lines. I'm drawing on the outside of the paper where the flap folds. Okay, and Make sure I angled this correctly so that you can see. And cut, and I've got my 2 cuts. I'm going to turn the paper around, and we're going to do a cut, and we're going to do a cut, and I've got flaps now. Aaron, do you have any ideas what I should draw on the outside? What do you want to see me draw?
Super Mario.
A Super Mario. Oh my. I think I can, off from memory, a Super Mario is going to be a little bit difficult. But I think I could probably draw a version of the mushroom head on one of the characters for Mario. And I don't have a red crayon out, so it's going to be the pink, and it's got white polka dots, right? What will be really funny, and my kids will give me a hard time, is if there is no mushroom head character in Mario. And there would be a like, why did you draw a pink mushroom head on your Exquisite Corpse? We have no idea. Since we're kind of like in the alien mode, I think my next body part, we are going to make a skinny green alien figure. How's that? With a little belly. That's his waist and his hips and his belly button. How's that? And we're going to give him little tiny arms with 3 fingers. I hope you're having some fun with this. Okay, I've got some ideas. People are saying dragon, princess head, emoji face, rooster, and peacock. And Denise gives me a shout out, said this is great. And Kelly, thank you for shouting out to me that the mushroom is on the spot, because that was from memory. And I'm not a video game person, so I appreciate the support. All right, so we're gonna color this in. Again, I love these dry erase crayons. They're just really bright. And got that, and this, and this. All right. And Branda says dragon tail. Okay, let's try the dragon tail, and we'll try to do the peacock and the rooster and some of those in the other. Now, because I just used green, I don't want to use green again. I'm thinking I want to use purple. How about a purple dragon tail? All right, and I learned from the artist Yuko Yubuki, there are different kinds of dragons. And the dragons from Japan are more serpent-like. Yeah, so we kind of got him curled up. And we'll give a little texture to the dragon tail. And then we'll give it a little flare at the end of the tail. Now, the other thing about the dragon that is super cool is it has scales. Yeah, if you have a pen or pencil or pen and you're doing scales, you can get a lot more exact. Crayon, we're just kind of do the idea of scales. All right, and I'm going to try to follow the direction of my scales. So it kind of turned out kind of dragon-y, but it also kind of turned out kind of mermaidy. So it can go either direction. So, okay. Oh, I forgot to color in. I'm going to give my little alien blue shorts. How's that? All right, so we have this. I'm going to go back to my requests, and it looks like I had the dragon, I had a princess head, an emoji face, a rooster, and a peacock. Okay, let's see what I can do. I think the princess face is going to be the easiest for me. So I'm going to start with that one. And I am going to start this with pencil first. And so we're going to make a delicate little circle and give her a little delicate nose and give her long eyelashes. And this is a little reminder to me where to go. And a little bow lips. All right. Now she's got to have a crown and she's got to have, what else? Let's give her, instead of giving her long hair, I recently cut off all my hair. So we're going to give her short hair. Because princesses don't have to have long hair. They can have whatever haircut they want to, right? All right. And we're going to give her a little side cut, kind of like mine. And little ears. But I'm going to give her fancy earrings. We got a princess with short hair with a pixie cut. All right. And I'm going to give her a little kind of collar, cute little lacy collar. All right. I'm going to draw with my pencil the next part. We had the request for an emoji face, but I don't think that's going to be right on the body. So a rooster. Okay. I'm going to try to draw a rooster body from memory. I think what I'm going to be able to fit in is a wing. How's that? So I just did kind of like a big circle with a wing. So I don't know if that's exactly rooster-esque, but it's definitely bird-esque. And when we do our crayon, we can do some nice texture to give the idea of feathers, right? Okay, and the feet, let's try, I have no idea what peacock feet look like, but I like the color teal that peacocks are. So we'll give him bird feet, which kind of go with the rooster, but we'll make them like teal colored. Yep, I'm running out of lead. Got to pump that out. I don't know why I like mechanical pencils so much. I guess it was the novelty of mechanical pencils when I was a kid. And then nowadays, I have teenage boys and they liked mechanical pencils too. So we just started kind of buying mechanical pencils. So there's always some mechanical pencils laying around my house. All right, let's go back to Princess. And we're going to give her some brown hair. And I'm going to kind of just lightly use the brown for skin tone. I have seen full crayon sets even now. They have a full skin tone set and colored pencils that have that, and that's really a nice thing. But for now, I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to make those pretty pink lips. And let's make her crown orange. And I'll leave some room at the end. For her to have big, beautiful blue diamonds on her crown. Because what girl doesn't like diamonds? And we'll give her diamond cut earrings as well. I'd take those diamond earrings, especially if they were that big. So I don't know that that really looked like a rooster, whoever requested the rooster, but there's a little rooster body. And I am going to pull out markers to do those teal peacock feet, even though we don't know if peacocks have teal feet. I suspect they do not. If you like arts and sciences, I highly suggest, especially for those of you who are doing stuff with your kids at home, look up, there's a website called ASU Ask a Biologist. And ASU Ask a Biologist, you can ask almost anything about life sciences. And they have a whole set of lesson plans about birds. And there's really interesting information about birds' feathers. And peacock feathers, you know how they're iridescent? Those are really interesting, how they achieve that. So I highly suggest that you look at that. All right, here is our Exquisite Corpse that we did together as a group. If you recall, we had our Baby Yoda clown, goat kind of body. And then we had our Mario alien dragon tail. And we had Princess Rooster Peacock. That just all sounds very strange, doesn't it? All right, so let's see, let's mix it up a bit. Oh, let's mix it up a bit. Mix it up. Oh, that's kind of fun. Baby Yoda, multiple arms, goat. I think that's my favorite.